Hello everyone, I'm Broughy1322 and welcome to another week of content creator live stream showcase track thingy mabobs. I messed up that intro. The meetup theme this week is trucks, so it's either big rig trucks.
What a scumbag!
Or what the? It's either big rig trucks or pickup trucks or anything like that. But yeah, that's the meetup theme. So we'll just have a quick look. But for those who don't know what this is, we go through submitted race tracks. This time we're on PC. We do it on PS4, Xbox One, PC. This week we're on PC, going through 7 race tracks that have been submitted by you guys, by the community. If anybody wants to submit their tracks, you can do it in the description. There's a link to do it in the description down below. We choose the best ones, we choose some good ones, and I play them through and give my thoughts on them. You might get some tips for those who like to create tracks, and you might get some good creations for you to play as well. Don't know what happened with that, but anyway, there we go. So nice little meetup, and we shall get into the content creator playlist. All right, so first track, LSIA Truck Stadium. Could be an interesting one to start with. We've got all trophy trucks and desert raids for this one because that's kind of the theme of the circuit. It's a stadium style circuit meant for these kind of trucks. Oh, this looks interesting. If anybody wants to download any of the tracks to use on their own game, obviously these are all exclusive to PC because tracks aren't cross-platform, unfortunately. If anybody wants to download them, thank you very much. Thank you very much. There we go, it's all gone to hell already. If anybody wants to download these to your own game, the links to get these tracks are in the description of the YouTube video, and they're in the order in which we do them as well. So this is the first in the list, then we keep going on through that. Straight through the middle. Nice. Take that as an overtake. Good to see that the oh, interesting. Good to see that the crashes have continued. I've been feeling like restricting these streams to 16 players, just sticking a 16-player race in at the end or something, just to restrict the playlist to 16 players, because it should be more about the tracks than having crashes all the time and the races themselves, really. Is this trophy truck fully upgraded? I don't even know. Anyway, I always give my thoughts on these tracks by the time we get to the second lap. And we are on the second lap now. Interesting idea. So we've seen quite a few sort of stadium style tracks throughout the course of these playlists. It's interesting to see one that is specifically themed towards trophy trucks and obviously desert raids, but trophy trucks is a general term, I guess you could say. Oh, these causing issues for people. Yep. Oh my god. Yeah, I'll take all those positions, that's fine. People are completely out of control. Yeah, it's kind of, it's like a stadium track, but turned up to 11 with all the sort of, I mean, it's very well made, first of all. Very very nice creation. I like how there's different levels. There's the sort of bumps and things that you expect on these type of super truck races. Side by side, look at this. Good stuff. And the inside there though. Oh no, that could be. I've noticed that. I noticed that on one of the other laps. That was poking out a little bit. Maybe that could be smoothed over a little bit. But this is a bit of a low grip area. We got the bumps there that are off different angles. We got the long, well, the steep incline there. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun track. I'm curious as to whether I've actually upgraded this, because I know that I bought a trophy truck on all 3 platforms. I can't remember quite whether I actually upgraded it on all 3 platforms, so I feel like I'm losing speed. It might be upgraded, but it could very well be that I just I bought it on PC and then forgot to actually upgrade it. It is my custom trophy truck, it's not a stock one, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's a nice creation. Looks good, looks impressive. And it's obviously part of the theme of a stadium track that's created specifically for these super trucks. Yeah, good stuff. This is the sort of thing that would fit the themed style of track when you're submitting your circuit. There's an option for themed circuit. This is what this would be. Specific to one type of vehicle in a stadium like this. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I like it. Good way to start. I haven't actually got the thumbnail picture yet. Yeah, this is definitely not upgraded. There's no way. I've definitely bought this in meaning to upgrade it and then completely forgot to upgrade it. Damn it. I was going to say something. A bit of fun. A bit of fun, this track. Good stuff. Nice creation. Nicely done. It is indeed my stock custom trophy truck. I need to remember to upgrade this next time I'm in free roam on PC. Oh, just missed it. I was trying to go for a dodgy line there. So yeah, to those watching this on YouTube, all the track links are in the description in the order that we play them. To those watching this on Twitch, so anybody watching this on YouTube, just so you're aware, you can watch this video essentially a few days early if you tune into the Wednesday live streams on Twitch. 7 PM UK time every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday I stream. But yeah, to those watching on Twitch, I believe the playlist link for all these races has been put in the chat. That's where you can get the jobs from. But that playlist does change every 3 weeks, every time we do a different stream. Just so you're aware. Add the individual jobs to your game, not just a playlist if you like them. And as always, as we've had at the very, very start of the stream, we might get notifications like donations or bits or Twitch subscribers popping up on the screen as we had at the very start, but I always read those out after each race, so those who are doing that are aware. Yeah, fun track, fun circuit, good stadium creation. That's what I was going to say, the thumbnail. I haven't created the thumbnail for the video yet, but I feel like because the thumbnail is always the first track in the list. I feel like this is going to be a nice thumbnail. Those of you watching this on YouTube will already have seen it before you clicked on the video, but I feel like it will be a nice thumbnail. Man. That's the difference between a fully upgraded and a completely not upgraded trophy truck. 4 seconds a lap. What time do you stream on Friday and what kind of stream? Fridays are the yeah, fair point. People are complaining a little bit about the barriers. Yeah, that's a fair point. Those barriers are, if the barriers aren't smooth or smoothly aligned, they can be an issue. So that's something to think about, especially on a track like that. When it's close in. But yeah, the Friday streams are for the podcast, the Choking Hazard podcast, which gets uploaded to YouTube on Mondays. That's what we do on the Friday streams. Always the same time. Every stream starts at 7 p.m. UK time. Every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And we do different platforms for every stream. I guess we'll do 6 laps again. Sport. Doesn't really matter what sports cars we use. Actually, let's do coupes. Yeah, I think that works. Exemplar and Windsor. Oh, that's all I have. I really need to get a Zion on PC. This is the thing. All my cars on all 3 it's very difficult playing the game on all 3 platforms. I don't think people are aware. It's, you know, you're spreading your time across. Now I spread my time equally across all 3 platforms. Making sure you have all the right cars on all platforms and they're all in the right garages and where you need them to be. It's hard enough just remembering what I have. But yeah, we always do all the platforms on all the streams. We for those who complain or say, do you ever play PC or do you ever play Xbox or do you ever play PS4? It surprises me when people say that, because I play equal amount on all 3 platforms. Every single stream is a different platform until we do all 3. That goes for Wednesdays and Sundays as well. There's actually a schedule of all my streams, and you can see what platform I'm playing when. Okay, so I'm glad I picked coupes because this one does seem quite tight and technical. Lamppost. Lamppost! For those who are watching the Choking Hazard podcast last episode, just saw a lamppost there. I will get caught up in this. It's so cornery, the Zion is just going to be so dominant. Lots of hairpins. Okay, so was that one lap? That lamppost could wipe out a small village. It could! Alright, so nicely created track. I think those props work very nicely as hairpin apexes. I mean, they work okay as normal apexes as well, but they work especially well on hairpins. Those gas tanks, they're just nice and smooth all the way around. Unless you want a very, very tight hairpin, obviously. I like the use of the sort of the more circular props. I've hit that wall twice in a row. I like the use of the more circular props to mark out the track. Obviously, it's quite difficult to create a dock track because there isn't an awful lot of space. I've just realised that we go over the other parts of the track, which is really nice. That's a nice touch. Utilising the space well by sort of extending it upwards when you can't extend it anymore outwards. I mean, I think theoretically you could. We've seen dock tracks that extend it outwards into the sea by using stunt props, but it is very hairpinny. It is a tight technical circuit. That's all preference, whether you like or dislike that sort of thing. But there is a certain amount of space. It's not as tight as it could be. I mean, there are circuits around the docks that are even tighter than this. The hairpins, I mean, that's the only thing that may cause issues in racing, I guess, when there's a lot of people that there's a lot of hairpins to navigate. But it's pretty much 2-lane all the way around. At least I don't think there's any 1-lane sections, which is good. I wish that lamppost was covered though. That could definitely be. Don't tell me, RDT, that can't be knocked over. You know, side by side battling racing situation. Don't you tell me that wouldn't get knocked over. Apart from that lamppost, this is pretty nice. I like the use of going over another part of the track. You can see other cars in different areas as well. This grandstand is pretty nice. It's a good creation. This is nice. This is really, really nice. High quality creation from a sort of just quality standpoint in prop usage. You know, the props are placed correctly. There's no issues apart from that lamppost. Checkpoints are nicely done. No issues with spacing. And then from an innovation standpoint, which is something that you kind of need to stand out with tracks these days, it brings something new. It's a completely new track creation, a completely new layout, a completely new way to use the docks area. Yeah, I like it. Apart from the lamppost. That's a bit suspect, going through that section with the cranes hanging down and things like that. I feel like it could be extended even further, like out towards the sea, but then I guess it's very similar to other dock circuits that are extended out towards the sea as well. This separates itself, it stands out from that because it goes over and above different parts of the circuit. Yeah, it's one of the better circuits around the docks that I've played. Definitely. Visually impressive as well. See cars in all sorts of different locations, which is just a personal thing. I just like that sort of thing. Doesn't determine whether it's a good track or not, but I just like it. This, I wasn't expecting this. I'm assuming that this is either a Zion or a Felon that's behind me. It's been catching me up at a vast rate of knots every lap. Whoever it was actually did catch me up, and then must have made a mistake because they dropped back again. I wonder if they can catch me before the end. I'm going to try not to have that the case, but I mean, you have a big advantage by starting in the lead, but I didn't want... I mean, I'm in a slower car anyway than Zions and Felons. I figured I would just go off the start and I would eventually get caught up, but it kind of hasn't materialised. One more lap to go. Yeah, don't really have an awful lot more to say about this one. It's just nice. Works well for the location. And that's the thing, I suppose, you know, the tracks that generally have the most space, I would say, and probably the best from a pure racing standpoint, probably are Blaine County circuits. But all tracks can't be Blaine County circuits. And we've had a prevalence of Blaine County circuits in general, because it is a good place to make a track. Oh my god, I've choked it. I've choked it, no way. I don't believe it! The last lap! Oh my days. Okay, if anyone wants to know the definition of a choke, that is it. That is the absolute definition of a choke. Oh my god. I wasn't even challenged. Like, I could have easily won that race. Oh my days. Choke of the week. If that doesn't win, I'm going to submit that. Someone clip that on Twitch. I'm going to submit it for choke of the week for the podcast. If that doesn't win, the last lap, we were like halfway around the last lap. I was miles ahead. I was only a second down. Oh, Jeffrey got in the race. That's Jeffrey's track. Yeah, he's he wanted to use his significant skill at knowing the track to put in a quick lap time, I guess. Yeah, home advantage when you've created the track. He said in the chat that that lamppost isn't dynamic, so if that lamppost can't get knocked down, then fair enough. If the lamppost can't get knocked down, then there's no problem with it. That's absolutely fine. God damn it, what a choke that was. That is the very definition of a choke. Where you're in the lead, you're expected to win, and then you ruin it. You make a mistake, and then that's it. Yeah, good to see exemplars. 4 exemplars in the top 7. Good stuff. Yes, loser. Yeah, being in last place and crashing out isn't a choke. Being in first place like that is definitely a choke. On the last lap, I wasn't even challenged. I was miles ahead. I don't know why I do that. I wish I knew. I wish I could stop doing stuff like that. Let's do spots for this one. Yeah, it would be good if anybody who is lagging if you could leave, like 8-bit, for example. It just causes too many issues. There is one thing you can do 8-bit, you can leave. Most people who do lag significantly do leave, especially on races like this, where we've got where we're trying to showcase tracks rather than just, you know, Sunday streams. I always say Sunday streams are where we don't really mind too much about things like that. You know, people people can join in on Sundays. We open up the crew, anybody can join and things like that. But Wednesdays Wednesdays are when we sort of close the crew to regulars, and if people lag, they do the nice thing most of the time and leave, so that we can have as clean a racing as possible. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, I have been considering reducing the amount of people in these races to 16, just so we can showcase the tracks better than the just the racing itself, or crashing or whatever. Come on, please, GTA, don't do this to me, please. Just there we go, beautiful. What should we use? Should we use something a bit different? I think I'm going to use the Spectre. I don't think I've upgraded that either. Let's use the Alpha. There's a few cars that I've bought on PC that I haven't upgraded yet. The trophy truck being a prime example of that. Yeah, nice track, the last one. Good docks track. As always, the links, like I said, are in the description for those watching on YouTube. Jesus, the acceleration of the Elegy Retro is just ridiculous. If NextRex doesn't win this race from this position, he's going to have harsh words with himself. Okay, City Circuit. People have been complaining, not recently, but a few weeks back, that we didn't have enough city circuits. And I think that was around the time when we had pretty much all Blaine County circuits, or a significant portion of Blaine County circuits. And it is a lot more difficult to create a good city circuit race, because there's just a lot more obstacles and issues to overcome. Oh, what a scumbag! Thank you for the subscription. As I said, I'll read all subscriptions and things in between races. So far, so good. I mean, it looks nice. There are a few lampposts again that haven't been covered, and that's one of the main issues with city circuits, that you do have to be aware of that and cover off lampposts and things. Like all of these, you know, these are definitely a problem. Yeah, you couldn't host an event on a track like this with 30 players racing side by side, all close together. Oh, that's a car. And expect to be able to race cleanly through that section. Side by side, people will... Oh, God almighty. Because those lampposts are going to get knocked over. There's no two ways about it. And then they're going to cause issues for people behind. I mean, you can if you want, but it doesn't. It's not exactly conducive to the best kind of racing that you could have. I think this is something that I'm going to do for the next round of In fact, let's open it up again. By the time this video goes up on YouTube, the submissions will be reopened for anybody who's previously submitted a track. It's actually quite early. We normally leave it maybe 2 months or something between each resubmission time. Obviously, you can only submit one track at a time. But by the time this video goes up on YouTube, the submissions, the sheet will have been reopened, so people can resubmit tracks, either resubmit tracks that they've already submitted if they haven't been shown, but obviously be aware that they still might be shown because there's quite a lot of tracks to get through. Or you can submit a different circuit that you think might have a better chance, or a circuit that you've improved on, or something like that. You know. Anyway, we'll reopen the submissions, and what I'm going to do is add a different. Ow! I can't get back on. I'm going to have to respawn. There's a problem. There's a problem I've found out with the track. If you end up off the track there, you can't get back on again. Oh, I suppose you can go back up there. Okay, I take it back. That wasn't a problem. I didn't see that. I didn't realise you could do that. My bad. I take it back. Yeah, we're going to reopen the submissions by the time this video goes up on YouTube, and I'm going to put in a new category that isn't a proper. I'm going to split up basically. At the minute we've got proper racing circuit as one category. I'm going to split that up into event level circuit, so where I would be extremely harsh about any lamppost that's uncovered or anything like that, but there'll be a new category for like playlist races. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. You know, there's something different between a circuit that is good enough to be hosting a high-level GTA proper racing event with 30 players, and a circuit that you just might use every night with a playlist. You know, just getting together with a group of friends. Lampposts and things like that aren't as big of a deal on races like that. So say if this has been submitted as a proper racing circuit, because that's pretty much all you could have submitted it as. But in my opinion, this lacks when it comes to a proper racing circuit. There's too many lampposts that are uncovered. Which just causes issues. I mean, there's a big one at one point, which I mentioned on the first lap that I noticed. But for me, this lacks for a proper racing circuit, but it works nicely just as a playlist race. You know, if you're just getting together with a group of friends and want to put in a few different tracks, this works. It doesn't exactly, you know, this lamppost, that's crazy that still exists. I like it. I think the circuit has a nice layout. It's fresh. It just could be improved a little bit more. I think it's not quite as good as it could be if it's trying to be an absolute, you know, best event style circuit. NextRex did win. There you go. It's just lacking a little bit. God damn it! He's not going to wait, is he? Absolute scum. So yeah, I'm going to reopen the submissions. So if you previously submitted a track, I did. If you previously submitted a track, then you can submit another one, a different track or whatever, and there will be a different category of event level circuit and playlist style race, rather than that would be splitting up the idea of a proper racing circuit. I mean, it's an okay track. I don't mind it. It's fun layout. I don't mind it too much. In my opinion, I'd say the exact opposite, and not just because of, not just to be difficult. Racing events with a higher skill level tend to not have as many issues with errant poles because people are able to plan ahead properly and avoid them, or just not battle in those sections where it's more hectic in a daily playlist situation and more likely to cause issues. Well, this is where you get into it. Like, this is the whole debate. That line of thinking would put you to the point of, why bother covering poles at all then? I mean, yeah, we used to race around tracks that barely had any pole coverage. On the very first season of the Multiclass Endurance Championship, we raced around tracks that barely had any pole coverage whatsoever, and we managed to do it, but they still caused issues. Even though we were racing at a high level, they still caused issues every now and then. And I would say that even one pole that gets knocked over in a race like that, in a high level event style race, is more problematic than 10 poles being knocked over in a playlist race. Because an event style race where people actually care about the result, one pole, and everybody's so close together on pace that one pole can cause someone to have the difference between finishing second or third or finishing 7th or 8th or whatever. It has a much bigger effect. This is just we'll do sports classics on this one. It's a time. No, let's do rallycross cars on this one. We're gonna do 3 laps as well. It is all tarmac, this track, but we're gonna do rallycross cars. And I think poles being off the racing line is a fair point. You know, if poles are off the racing line and they're way out, you know, not on the racing line at all, that's fine. You know, it's not as if every single pole on a track has to be covered. But that track as an example had poles going all the way up to Mirror Park, where people are naturally going to weave in and out of because they want to get the curb boosts. So, and they're going to go on the curb and off the curb, whether they weave in and out of them or not. So those poles were absolutely shouldn't be there. There are, you know, some you can get away with having on a track if they're not. Oh, of course, thank you GTA. Some you can. Maybe that is a better way to differentiate highly competitive races versus relaxed but still proper races. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for with the new system of things like that. Oh my god, 8-bit Soldier really is. Yeah, that's the distinction. If a race is trying to be the best kind of race that it can be, a proper event style circuit, then it needs to minimize the possibility that anything other than the driver's skill will affect the outcome of the race. That's my take on it. That's my thoughts. Obviously, everything that I say in these content creator streams and everything that I say about polls and things like that, these are all my opinions. Obviously, if people If people don't agree with them, that's fine. People can have different opinions, people can have different styles of creating tracks, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not saying that my way is the only way you can create tracks. But just from my take on it, that is what it should all be about. If you're creating a track that is meant to be for proper racing on GTA, it needs to minimize the amount of track that will affect the outcome of the race that is over and above just the driver's skill. The driver's skill should be the only thing that would affect the race result. So if you have one pole that can be knocked over, then to me that if it can be covered over, then it should be covered over, because a single pole theoretically could be knocked over and it could affect the race result, and that takes away from the skill of the drivers participating in the race, affecting the race result all to themselves. Certainly, I think we all agree having poles that are within the racing line and you're weaving in and out of them as you go over and above curbs and things like that, we all agree that they shouldn't exist. But it's finding that line of what is acceptable and what isn't, because obviously if we had all the prop usage in the world, I'm sure we'd have a lot more coverage. But yeah, that's the way that I look at it. And it's only really a problem with city circuits, obviously. Hill circuits and Blaine County circuits, which is another reason Blaine County circuits are so popular, don't really have these issues. You don't have to cover poles, they're just smooth, and in my opinion provide the best racing experiences. But anyway, enough talk about poles. That's my thoughts on it. I like this track. This is interesting. This is something completely different. This is completely new. Like it's interesting because the whole track has been created newly from stunt props, but it's using bits of the map as like natural obstacles. You've got sort of bits of shrubbery and trees and things coming through the track. I think it mentions in the description about that as well. Right. Yeah, that's my bad. I feel like I would like to see this have a mix of regular road like this and dirt road. So there are some quite interesting off-road sections around this area. Obviously it's all above that. The track sort of follows that area, but it's used stunt props above it instead. I would actually quite like to see it maybe mix it a little bit. Have one half of the track that uses the off-road section, and then the other half, I've done it again, tricky section that, and then another half that is just on the main road like this. But then again, it might not necessarily be trying to be a rallycross track or a rally track. It might just be trying to be a proper circuit where you can race regular sports cars, not just rally cars on it. So it's up to it depends on what the creator is trying to do with it, obviously. But it's something a bit different. It is. It's kind of like a hill circuit in a place where you don't have hill circuits. A tarmac circuit in a place where you don't have tarmac circuits. You've got all of these hills that you don't normally race around unless you're racing in a rally format. But it's in a sort of a tarmac circuit. So that's interesting. I agree with that, what was just said in the chat. It was just a nice clean track. that was in an interesting location, something a bit new. Yeah, good stuff. I like. So that's the fourth one in the fourth track in the list. For those who are watching this on YouTube and want to download these tracks, we're halfway through. But I would like to see a rally version of this track that maybe goes in and out of the dirt roads a little bit. Maybe not just one half dirt and one half road, but some parts road and then some parts dirt and things like that. Good stuff. Yeah, I'll finish up that point about polls. I know you. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Mox subscription with the 4 months in a row. Thank you so much. I have no idea how to read my name either. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's do supers on this one. No, let's do sports. Regular sports. Thank you so much, Mox, for the 4 months. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I think I agree though with the chap there that the barriers are a little bit sticking out on that last track. But yeah, to finish up the point about the poles. Oh, muscles. Good idea. I forgot about it. I didn't even think about muscles. Good strategy. Yeah, to finish up on the point about the polls, that I do disagree with what was said in the chat earlier, that no, I agree with part of it, that yes, polls are less of a impact in clean racing because in event races, because high level players can avoid the polls. But on the flip side of that, polls being knocked over means more in a high level event race. So whereas in a playlist race where they may cause more issues, the impact of each individual pole getting knocked over in a playlist race like that is less evident than it is in a high level event race. So that's the way that I go about it. That's why I say that poles should be covered. And up to if it was up to me, you know, would you rather have a car hitting a barrier and the car being the thing that's in the middle of the road that can drive away, or would you rather have the car and the pole be in the middle of the road and cause issues? So that's the way that I go about it. But yeah, that's my final thoughts on the pole thing. It's been discussed to death, both on the podcast last week and this content creator stream. But it had to be said. This discussion had to be had. I don't think we'll talk much more about it now. People know my thoughts on it, and I've given my impression of it and why I think that they should always be covered as much as possible in high level event races, because I think they have more of an impact when they get knocked over. Let's pull off to the side for this one, I think. It's probably not going to have been a good idea, but someone's had issues up there. Duke of Death could be quite good on this one. It's got a pretty mean mid-drive speed boost. Let's just take it easy. Take it nice and easy. So, now we're going to be on a track that we don't have to have a discussion about poles, because it's in Blaine County. There are no poles to be covered in the first place. So the name of this track is Copycat GP. Oh no! I'm sorry. And I believe that the reason for that, according to the description, is that it is a sort of an amalgamation of two different tracks, two common or popular PC Blaine County Sandy Shores style circuits. It's kind of a combination of those two, done in a different way prop wise. So we'll give it a go. see what it's like. Give my thoughts on the second lap as always. I do recognise little bits of different tracks that I've played on before. Alamo Marina Grand Prix, is it? And Odan's track, I can't remember what it's called. We skip through all of these. Just about. Jesus. Jesus. Okay, let's talk about the track. Quite complex for a Sandy Shores Blaine County circuit. They normally have a bit more space than this, but obviously we've got the bridge that people are going over now, which is a key part of Odan's original track. That was back before we even had this sort of thing, and the stunt creator and stuff like that. So it's a really nice, I've always liked the idea of this bridge where you go back over the sort of the track, you go over the sort of the start line and the first hairpin turn and things like that. So nice section there. Oh wow, he's gone. Tight in there, but it brings you, I guess it feeds you nicely into this. And then we've got this tight hairpin from Marine Grand Prix track. The chicane. It's nicely propped. Yeah, I mean it's what's interesting about this track is that it's a very, very complex Sandy Shores track, but it doesn't suffer from a lot of the issues that very, very complex Sandy Shores tracks do. Pit lane looks fine. Because Sandy Shores itself, it's quite a limited place to create a track. You've only got a certain number of roads, and if you try to use sort of, they've got those middle section of roads that have trees in them and things like that, which aren't really the best. So this doesn't go through any of those roads, or if it does, it sort of, I don't think it does anyway. I'll keep an eye out for that. But it sort of carves a complex trail around Sandy Shores, but by utilising this bridge section, it also gives you quite a bit of space, which is quite rare.
I chose the Jester, but I'd rather have the Carbonazi
for a Sandy Shores track. Thank you for the donation, Lambert Bunny. 666. No message I see, so I'll say thank you now. Thank you so much, Lambert Bunny, for the bits. Yeah, it misses out. It misses out the more troublesome parts of Sandy Shores, but is still able to create quite a long and involved circuit by using clever propping to extend the same part of track by going back and forth and over and back of different sections, and you got a fair amount of space. for such a complex Sandy Shores circuit. Nicely propped. I haven't noticed any major issues. I mean, there's a few tight corners obviously, but nothing necessarily wrong with that. Yeah, this is a nice Sandy Shores circuit. Yeah, I like it. I do like it. It's a good circuit, this one. Maybe pushing a little too hard. Yeah, some low grip corners indeed. It does Sandy Shores differently enough to feel fresh. And that's very difficult to do with Sandy Shores these days because, like I said, we have an overabundance of Blaine County circuits. Yeah, nice track. I'm a fan. We caught up so much, but I don't think any more positions we'll have by the end. Cool. Less than a second off the best lap. I was only the second person to be in the 159s. That's rare for me. That's rare for me to get such good laps. Lambent Bunny with a 666 bits. Thank you so much for the donation during that. I like that track. Mark Verstappen with a second place and best lap. See, the Duke of Death did win. I mean, he did get a good start and he was off at the start, like, but good stuff. Yeah, I like that track. I do. I'm a fan. Okay, two more tracks to go. Hopefully, these content creator streams are still well received and people enjoy them. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know if you still enjoy them. I think it's useful to have the discussions that we've had regarding polls and things like that because it kind of opens up the discussion and maybe gives people different thoughts, and we can, we exchange different ideas in the chat and stuff about our own personal preferences, and that's what it's all about. We just want to make good tracks. I'm sure everybody here and those who play them just want to play good tracks. So hopefully it's all still useful for people who are watching. I'm not starting again. I'm not starting the discussion again. How could anyone in their right mind enjoy this? I'm glad I'm crazy. Baron Samedi on screen. Add DT with the references. Good stuff. If I hear the word pause once more, I'm gonna have a seizure. Sorry, you caused that for yourself. Forza, let's do it. We haven't done a Supers race or a Sports Classics race. I just realised, and I'm not sure we're gonna get the chance to do a Supers race or a Sports Classics race on the last track, from what I can remember. Whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, nice photo that, wasn't it? Nice photo on the screen right there. Yeah, I wish it showed your car at the start. Alright, we got a start line. Start finish line. Get a little curb boost on the left hand side of that. Notice that for the second lap. Leave plenty of space on the inside. See, I knew there'd be some drifting wide from that Comet Retro. Alright. Oh, this is different. Oh, this is very different. This is very, very different. Should have used the Massacro. It's going to have the speed. No doubt. Well, we got a hill section, so Forza should have the grip. This is interesting. Wait, what? Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this. This is cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I need to get a picture there. I need to record. I need to record so I can get a picture for Instagram on the next lap. Oh, I like that. That's Instagram picture worthy. For those who don't know, I do have an Instagram account and I do post GTA racing pictures from time to time of cool things like that. You guys can also let me know of your opinions on YouTube in the comments about whether you've found this stream a little bit more boring from a racing perspective, because I haven't gone to the back in all these races. Maybe you guys prefer it a bit more calm like this and you're not bothered whether there's someone around, but this is kind of why I don't go off at the start and I go to the back, because I feel like it's a little bit less interesting when I'm just racing on my own like this. But let me know. But that's why I've gone off at the start more on this stream, to kind of showcase how it might be. This is really nice, gotta say. Definitely getting a recording for this section. Damn it, it would have been better if I was in the pack. There's only one person. Damn it. I should have got it on the first lap. Well, but do you know what? We're probably going to race this track again at various parts of doing other live streams. So when we do, people need to. I'm talking to you guys in the chat who watch my streams. You need to remind me to get a recording on that section of this track to get a nice picture for Instagram. because that's a cool section. I really do like that. This is such a nice track. There is a pit lane. It's directly ahead of where we are right now. I'm guessing you go down, do a hairpin and come back. The only thing that I don't like about it is this. I'm always very... I'm gonna stop and get a picture. I'm always very wary of big sections that are in the air without barriers on the side, because there is potential to be knocked clean off. Like, I don't mind the whole idea. Like, if that was stunt track pieces, it's just with barriers and things. Okay, no, I'm not. I can't bring myself to do it. There's no way. I just can't. I can't bring myself to stop. It's not possible for me to do it. If I'm in the lead of a race, I just can't bring myself to stop the car and give it up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We'll get a picture when we do this track again, because we're almost certainly going to do the track again. I know I always say that it doesn't really matter who wins in these races, and it absolutely doesn't. Like, nobody gives a damn whether I win this race or not. But when you're in that position of first place, you can't just stop and give it up. Even though it was, you know, I just got off at this is why I say I wait at the start, because I got off at the start there. Sometimes there will be cases where someone will catch me up and we'll be able to have a battle, but there will be other cases where I don't get a chance to do that and I'll just go off at the front. It's not because I'm better than people in the lobby, it's just because good people in the lobby might start at the back, or, you know, whatever. So it's, you know, starting at the front is such a huge advantage that that's why I go further down to the back. But I couldn't bring myself to stop. Wow, best lap. What has gone on in that race? I suppose the two good people in the session were in Comet Retros, or the two people who were in second and third were in Comet Retros. So if they were in Felses as well, they probably would have beat me. But anyway, yeah, I couldn't bring myself to stop in that position. I just couldn't. I didn't mean there was only two good people in this session. I just meant the two people who were next in line. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. God damn it. I'm not the best in the lobby, and there's plenty of people better than me. The only reason I won is because I got off at the start. The only reason I got the best lap is because I was probably the only person who managed to get a clean lap. So that's where the way we'll go with this. But once I was in the lead, I couldn't bring myself to stop to not be in the lead. That's what we'll say. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. God damn it. There's plenty of people better than me, just none were in the lobby. No, there's plenty of people better than me and they were in the lobby. I didn't say that. God damn it. So yeah, that's why I go back in the pack and I don't go off at the start, because races could end up like that. But, you know, you can let me know what you think. But to go back to the track, let's do this in Sports Classics instead of just Sports. I think we'll stick to 6 laps. We got another indoor stadium circuit, but this is not just for trucks like we did last time. At the start of the stream. But yeah, you dug like 7 graves for yourself there. Just stick to track reviews, mate. God damn it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I really like that track. It was really good. There was such a good flow in that circuit. It felt so nice to just drive around. It just felt nice to race on. Well, to just drive around. The only thing that I don't like is what I was saying is the bit where it's all completely, there's no barriers on the side of that big long section. If that was stunt road pieces with barriers, I think it would be better, because it doesn't feel like it fits with the rest of the track, and again the fact that there's no barriers is a reason for concern. But it is quite a wide section, so it's just a personal thing that I don't like it when there's that sort of thing with no barriers. But it might not cause issues anyway. But the rest of the track was unbelievable. That's probably one of the best tracks that we've had all this stream and other PC streams. That was one of the top 10 at least. And that little section where you go back around yourself, just a little thing like that, it was executed beautifully. Like the prop usage, that could have gone very wrong, because it was a tight section. It could have gone very wrong in creation, but it was executed very nicely. The prop usage was very good, and just that little section in particular was just a highlight. It was just really nice. Choked it. I wasn't really a choke. Certainly wasn't guaranteed of winning that one. Oh, slowdown zones if you cut the corners too much. Interesting. So this is the last track, completely indoors. Oh, that's a big old hit. Completely indoors. Interesting. Almost feels like a karting circuit. Those indoor kart tracks, but on a much bigger scale. Block pass. Oh, damn it, that wasn't the tight section. This is the tight section. I outthought myself. Interesting. I like the slowdowns on there if you cut the track too much. I mean, this is nice again. It is a themed circuit, that's for sure. Stadium style circuit. The lights look really nice. It's used the lighting effectively. Where are we? Are we around the casino? I know that was a common place previously to use to create a stadium circuit. Yeah, I mean, this is nice. This is a nice creation. It feels visually impressive. Oh! Okay, oh no! Damn it! That's a problem though with the slowdown zone. If someone pushes you off the track like that, there's not an awful lot you can do. I'll give people this, that it's a lot more rare to get this kind of wheel-to-wheel racing when I do go to the back in these races. But this is fun. Oh, it's a Fort Zancudo. Okay, interesting. Using the lights on the airport nicely. This is a very visually appealing circuit, I've got to say. I mean, what I was going to say before we had those before we had that battle and I needed to sort of shut up and concentrate a little bit because I was having fun. What I was going to say was that... Oh, damn it, I've lost what I was going to say again. Damn it! Is this for real? Oh yeah, for a stadium circuit that, like the likes of this, it's quite wide. It feels quite open for a stadium circuit. They're normally a little bit tighter and more compact than this, so you can have some good racing like we did a lap ago. Damn, that was fun. And there's quite a bit of space. It's visually very appealing. Obviously, you have the problem with all the curb boosting. Oh, for God's sake. The curb boosting that you get on tracks like this. It just as a natural consequence of creating them completely out of stunt pieces, but it is what it is. The slowdown section, I did say originally I liked it, and I like the idea of it, but I can see where the issues lie with it. Uh-oh. If you do get pushed over onto that part of the track, like I did, you do get slowed down a lot. But all in all, this is a very nice creation, I have to say. Good stuff. Very nicely done. Nice in a Turismo Classic as well. Too many checkpoints. Yeah, actually, now that you've mentioned it, I didn't realise because I wasn't really focusing on it, but yeah, there are quite a few checkpoints. Maybe there are a little bit too many of them. But then again, on a completely enclosed circuit like this, checkpoint placement matters a little bit less, I guess. Yeah, there are too many checkpoints, I think. Very close between the top three. Top four. Top five, really, in lap time. Second for life. Thank you. A year ago you could look at this track and you genuinely wouldn't be able to believe that it's GTA 5. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. That is a good point. Yeah, maybe the pit lane could do with some work. Like the barrier separating the starting grid and the pit lane. I agree with what people were saying a little bit about that. And maybe a few too many checkpoints. But in general, it was visually appealing and a nice track to drive as well. And like you say, yeah, a year ago you would not be able to believe that GTA 5 could give us tracks like that. It's amazing what we can have now in this game. It's good stuff. We've had some good races this week once again. But yeah, as always, the links are down below in the description. If you want to submit your circuits, like I said, the submissions are open again, so you will be able to resubmit more. By the time this video goes up on YouTube, all the links and all the information is in the description. But yeah, some really nice circuits once again on the PC version of GTA, and we'll be back. Actually, we won't be back with the PS4 version next week. We're going to be doing 3 best of videos, and I'll be picking my favorite tracks from all the 28 weeks that we've done so far, and then we'll be back on with the live streams.